entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Joe Alsobrook here with Mindset Over Everything, the podcast. That's right. We are back. Episode 19. Folks, I am super stoked, excited, happy about our accomplishment. And by that, I mean your accomplishment, because the only thing I've done is talk to this wall right here with a microphone in front of it. We've reached over 2,000 downloads, 2,047 to be exact. Not that I'm counting day by day, number by number, but that's amazing. That is awesome. Look, this is how awesome that is. We're at episode 19. We're well over 2,000 downloads, and we are just scratching the surface getting started. Now, we've got listens in Turkey, United Kingdom, Canada, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, Japan, Germany, Switzerland, Australia, and of course, the United States. Over 50 cities in the United States, with Atlanta, Dallas, couple of different ones in California, including Los Angeles, Chicago, Illinois. Surprisingly enough, just a few in Oklahoma City. That's where I'm from, folks. I'm from Oklahoma. Come on, Sooners. Let's get behind your boy here. But look, it's not even about me. It's about the message. And like I've said before, the message is not new. Meaning, right, this information isn't necessarily new. You know Zig Ziglar, right? You know all of the prophetic mindset gurus of the past. This information is only slightly changed and modified to today's version, right? But the access to the information is what's new, and that's what I feel my job is to get this out there to more people using the mediums we have today, using the podcast, using YouTube, using Facebook, using Instagram, using Twitter, using LinkedIn to get this message out there to impact as many people as possible to help shorten that learning curve, if only just by a little bit. And I need your continued help on that. You've been doing amazing up until now. But it's just like anything else. To get to the next level, it's going to take next level effort in order to get there. And I'm going to need everyone chipping in on this. So just like you've been doing, sharing, inviting people into the podcast, personally sharing, don't just blanket share it out there like, hey, this guy, you should listen to him, check it out. It's kind of cool. But definitely someone that you feel would resonate with this message too. Folks, today, I've got an amazing episode planned here. It's called Growing in Greatness. And a lot of times in the past, and I credit who I get my content from, my topics to review and kind of break down. I credit, Ed Mylett. I credit Andy Frisella. I credit Dean Graziosi. I credit all of them. Ryan Stewman, hardcore closer. I credit all of these people because I want you to go find that information too. And if you like the topics that I go over, and I do have a lot of original stuff too, but if you like the topics that I go over and where I get it from, man, I found them. So I want to introduce you to those people too if you weren't previously exposed to some of their information. That's why I credit it. Today is no different, right? Today, I got my topic from a very influential and important source in my life, and that's my 12-year-old son, Talan. Now, he wasn't 12 years old when I got this information from him, and to be honest, I think maybe I hopefully had a little bit of influence on this information that I got from him. However, it came August 16th of 2017. It was a paper or a little statement or a topic that Talan had to write, and he chose the topic Growing in Greatness. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I read his words that he wrote, and he authored this, I didn't even help him edit it, right? I left the grammatical errors in there because, that I think it needs to be authentically him. But when I read it, man, I had a little tear brought to my eye because I couldn't believe that something like this would come from, at the time, an 11-year-old boy. And And I'm going to read that for you all today. And then we're going to kind of go over this and, the influences that go in to creating this and some of the, the techniques and the methods into helping, foster and facilitate this type of information and in this type of mindset, really, right? Mindset. That was a word I was looking for, Joe. You couldn't think of mindset. Anyway, growing in greatness. And these words that I'm about to read, and I read terribly live, but, just have to deal with it. I'll go slow. These words are from Talan's paper. Growing in greatness. Do you think you have greatness in you? Everyone is great in their own way. Some things can get in the way of greatness in you and in everyone else. Achieving greatness isn't easy, but it is possible. Everyone is great in their own way. Like one person may be good at drawing while another person may be good at soccer. Whatever that thing is, it makes you great and at that certain thing. Another thing that makes you great, but could be different from others, is the way you think. Someone can solve a math problem a different way, but you could solve it in some other way. If everyone thought the way you do, then no one would have different scientific theories, and people like Isaac Newton probably wouldn't have been the first person to make the laws of motion, and the laws of motion is the thing that made Isaac Newton achieve greatness. Some problems may get in the way of your greatness, such as difficult math problems. But those problems could actually help you achieve greatness because the harder the problem is, the more you have to think. And thinking is good for your brain. If there weren't any problems in the world, then some things would never have existed, like stoves. Problems can be good and bad at the same time. Problems are something that can make someone great, and by being somebody who solves them will make you achieve greatness. Achieving greatness isn't easy, but it is possible. If you put your effort into your work, achieving greatness will be easier than you thought it would be. Never give up trying. Never limit yourself, because the only limits are the ones you make. Work towards your goals and you will reach them. In conclusion, everyone is born great, and there may be problems in life, so solve them. And you're great in your own way and can achieve greatness in your own way. It doesn't matter what your skin color is or your religion. You were born great. Now, again, you can tell that came from an 11-year-old, right? But can you? If you get past some of the, repetitive, words in there, and let's get to the core meaning of what he said in this growing in greatness. I want to start there. I want to start with growing in greatness. Why would an 11-year-old mind choose that? He has the self-awareness to understand that he's growing in life. And the fact that he chose growing in greatness, and this again is something he chose. I didn't help him pick this topic. Melinda didn't help him pick this topic. He chose this. Everyone is great in their own way. One person may be good at drawing, another person may be good at soccer. Those are two completely different things, right? Whatever that thing is that makes you great, another thing is that you may be great, that is the way we think, right? Another thing that makes you great is the way we think. This comes from an 11-year-old mind. Now, understand this. We get so polluted in our adulthood, right? We get so polluted by these other ideals, other things, other failures, other objectives that we get put in our mind. Think about that, what he just said. So another thing that makes you great is the way you think. Our own differences is what makes us great. And then to understand that problems are what make the world great, and being able to solve them, bringing that solution to the world is what makes it great. Isaac Newton, what made him great was his laws of motion. We wouldn't be talking about Isaac Newton today if those problems didn't exist, if he didn't have the drive to go solve that problem. What is this that makes this move? And then think about everything that came from that. This is an 11-year-old that picked this out. You may solve one problem, a math problem, one way. I may solve it a different. Doesn't mean that neither one of us are great. We can both be great in our own way. The harder the problem is, the more you have to think. And thinking is good for your brain. Wow, isn't that right? I mean, we go to the gym, we work out our muscles. Well, how do you work out your brain? It's not something that's in motion. It's not a perpetual motion, right? So you work it out by taxing it, by putting it under stress and pressures of thinking about things that are beyond something simplistic, that looking at something and say, that's blue, that's red, that's black, that's green, right? But going into depth and thinking and doing what's difficult for your brain. And that's the way we grow intellectually, mentally, in our mindset. Problems can be good and bad at the same time. Problems are something that make someone great. And by being somebody who solves problems, you will achieve greatness. Think about that. Name someone that you consider great that did not bring a remarkable solution to the table. I'll wait. I mean, I'm floored. And I was floored a year ago when I read this. I couldn't believe it, right? I mean, I had this in a plastic frame here, and I have it by his bed. And whenever Talan tells me he can't, or something's hard, or something's difficult, I make him go read it. And I don't make him just look at it. I tell him, read it. That's you, Talan. You're talking to yourself on that paper. Read that. Now go back to what was hard. How are you going to solve it? Achieving greatness isn't easy, but it is possible. If you put your effort into your work, achieving greatness will be easier than you thought it would be. Never give up and keep trying. Never limit yourself, because the only limits are the ones you make. Work towards your goals and you will reach them. I'm going to tell you a profound thing in life. The only reason someone doesn't reach their goals is because they quit. Period. Point blank. The only reason someone fails to reach their goal is because they quit. Otherwise, they would have reached them. Now, I've had people say, no, that's not true. I didn't reach my goal because of X. Well, what did you do after X? Apparently quit, because otherwise you would have reached your goal. It sounds like an oversimplification, but it's exactly 100% true. I mean, an 11-year-old gets it. Why can't we? In conclusion, everyone is born great, and there may be problems in life, so solve them, and you are great in your own way and can achieve greatness in your own way. It doesn't matter what your skin color is or what your religion is. You were born great. That's the most profound thing he wrote, and he ended it with that. You were born great. And through adolescence and life, we are unlearned greatness. And we are taught mediocrity. and we choose to accept it, because at some point we become responsible for our own choices, thoughts, and mindsets. We can no longer blame our environment. A child gets this. Why can't we? You were born great. You still are great. I mean, you're listening to this podcast, and that's not me being that's not me being as arrogant as it sounds. I mean, you're choosing to put yourself into information and to accept information and apply information that's going to work towards the betterment of your life. If that's not greatness, I don't know what is. You could choose mediocrity. You could turn this off right now. Man, he didn't know what he's talking about. Go right back to everything you're doing, but you're still listening. That's choosing greatness. Look, folks, here's the deal. Indoctrination is a hell of a drug. Indoctrination is a hell of a drug. It works. I'm going to take something extreme and I'm going to make a point of view, but I ask this before I do it. Please listen to this with an open mind. Don't shut down by what I'm about to say, if that's not a cliffhanger. Don't shut down by what I'm about to say. But here's a proof that indoctrination works. It works in extremes, and if we can take this from an extreme and extract a lesson from it and apply this to our lives and use it for good, then why wouldn't we? Adolf Hitler. He indoctrinated an entire nation of people to commit some of the most atrocious atrocities, unfathomable, just crimes against humanity that I can't even bring myself to discuss them here. We know what they were. I won't go into gruesome details. But he used indoctrination to do that. What if we indoctrinated ourselves with this type of information? Mindset over everything. The Zig Ziglars of the world. The law of attraction. I've had people laugh about the law of attraction before, like, oh yeah, I can't just wish it into existence. Yeah, you can. You create your own reality. It's not about just wishing it into existence, but you keep it in front of you. You keep it in your head. You don't let it out. You keep it moving forward. You always move towards it. And guess what? You end up getting it. That's wishing it into existence. Don't wish for an easy life, right? Don't pray for an easy life, but pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. That's where growth happens. If we can use indoctrination, religion. You're telling me religion doesn't use indoctrination? I beg to differ. Look at ISIS. Joe, that's not religion. Ah, but it is. It's radicalized. What about the Crusades? So you're telling me indoctrination doesn't work? Or are you telling me you're afraid of what it will do? If you indoctrinate yourself, every day I listen to Law of Attraction, Abraham Hicks on YouTube. You go YouTube, Abraham Hicks, 2018, because before that it gets kind of hokey and some of the older stuff. But, you know, get in there and listen to it every day. I might not sit there and every single word go, oh yeah, that's exactly right. But the message is amazing. The content is great. Filter out what you need and put it in your head. What else are you listening to? I mean, don't get me wrong. I listen to 2 Chainz and Kanye and everybody, but still, before I put any of that in my head during the day, I indoctrinate myself with podcasts like this, with YouTube videos, Abraham Hicks, and many others. Meditation. That's another form of self-indoctrination. Do you meditate? Oh, I don't believe in all that. Why? What do you think prayer is? Do you believe in prayer? And if not, and you don't believe in prayer and you don't believe in meditation, that's fine. But I'll ask you this, what do you believe in? How about you take that belief and you indoctrinate yourself with it, as long as it's good? Growing in Greatness is one of the greatest things I've ever read. And it came from an 11-year-old. And as imperfect as it may be grammatically in some areas, I don't think that I've read a better message in the last several years. Everyone is great in their own way. One person may be good at drawing while another may be good at soccer. As simple as that is, oh my God, right? If everybody thought the way you do, then nobody would have different scientific theories. And people like Isaac Newton probably wouldn't have been the first person or anyone to make the laws of motion. If we all had the same thoughts, what in the world would we be here for? Take your differences and embrace them. Indoctrinate yourself with all the good things that you can find out there and watch what happens. Things explode. Things take off like a podcast hitting 2,000 downloads in the first couple of months. Man, I'm born from Marlow, Oklahoma. We had about 8,000, 9,000 people in my hometown. My dad was the chief of police. My mom was a school teacher. I'm no one special. But people are listening. Must be the content, right? Must be the message. Because I know it's not me. I'm not that funny. I'm kind of corny. Achieving greatness isn't easy, but it is possible. If you put your effort into your work, achieving greatness will be easier than you thought it would be. Never give up. Keep trying. Never limit yourself, because the only limits are the ones you make. Work towards your goals and you will reach them. In conclusion, everyone is born great, and there may be problems in life, so solve them. And you're great in your own way and can achieve greatness in your own way. It doesn't matter what your skin color is or what your religion is. You were born great. Folks, that's my challenge to you. Go grow in greatness, right? Let's reconnect with that 11-year-old mind. Let's try to unravel all of the negative indoctrination that we face daily on TV and the media. Let's try to put aside those differences that we face every day. It's not about elephants. It's not about donkeys. It's not about red. It's not about blue. Right? It's about the human race. It's about you. It's about greatness. It's about doing what's right for yourself. And I'm going to tell you it's okay to be selfish, and that might not be received well, but I'm going to tell you this. Why do you think in an airplane they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first before trying to help everyone else? Because you're no good to anyone dead. You have to set yourself right first. You have to set a solid foundation, and then you have a responsibility to start helping others. Let's do that, folks. Let's grow in greatness. I'm going to end it with this. Go execute.